Welcome, friends and fans, to another episode of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today we'll be visiting, or I should say revisiting, the mercurial world of Achievement Hunter, where anything can happen and usually does. Today we have 4 members of the cast coming onto our show, and now is the time for you to begin typing in your chat questions for them. And after this session, you'll have the opportunity to talk to them directly through our private chat options, as well as purchasing autographs and personalized video recordings, all of which are available now at GalaxyCon.com. So without further ado, let's bring them out. First, he is an actor, show host, rapper, and lyricist. Please welcome back the always awesome Jeremy Dooley.
Hey! Last time I was doing a dance first, and it looked really weird, so I just went with a wave that time.
That totally works. How you doing up there, sir, in your corner of the world?
Yeah, holding up as well as we can, staying safe. I think all of Achievement Hunter is doing that. But getting to do stuff like this and talk to people still, which is always really nice.
All right, well, let's bring out the next one. He is an actor, host, and video game journalist. Welcome back to the GalaxyCon virtual stage, Mr. Ryan Haywood.
Hey!
Hey!
I didn't wave furiously. I thought Jeremy covered that enough for everybody.
I got it. No, that's fine. We got 50 minutes for you guys to try to outdo each other, so we'll leave it at that. So, how you doing, boss?
Oh, hanging in there, as much as one can do in the current world.
Yeah, head above water is the new measure of success, I would imagine.
Pretty much, yeah.
Indeed. Our next guest is a voice actor whose credits include One Piece, Ruby, and Internet Box. Please welcome back Michael Jones.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. How are things in the world of Tron and the internet and the dark web and all the other crazy
It's better in here. It's better in here than it is out there. Jeremy, why'd you laugh when I came on screen? Why'd you laugh at me?
It was a nice tone to it.
Oh, okay.
Your intro was very sing-songy, and I liked it.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, and last but never least, she is an actress and director whose body of work includes Red vs. Blue, Internet Box, and she is the title character Ruby Rose from Ruby. Please welcome back the always lovely Lindsay Jones.
Yep, there it is.
There we go.
Oh!
There it is.
Nailed it.
I heard my face. All right, hey.
Hey, how are you doing, my dear?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having us back, Patty. Appreciate it. Always nice to see you.
Always glad to see all of you. And I guess the first question is probably just the same as everybody else. Are you all still producing content? And how has that been for you?
No.
Yes,
all right.
We are producing content. Yeah, we're
It's 5
actually.
PM. I'm sorry.
I think we're producing more than we even were before right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
we sort of doubled down on it and just started streaming an additional 12 hours a week that we weren't doing before.
So add all that content on top of what we're doing, and then releasing content that we filmed before the lockdown, like Hardcore Mini Golf and other series like that. So we still have a little bit of a back catalog, but mostly just filming stuff from here and adding new stuff into it, like the streams.
So the new conditions, has this led you guys on any new discoveries for content?
I discovered that this
we're
room
trying
starts
things
to smell
for
like
sure.
feet if you stay in it long enough.
Well, that's because
That's
you
your
don't wear
problem. That's
socks or
Ryan's
shoes,
problem.
Ryan.
I'm wearing socks.
Now
No,
you
he's gonna show
are.
us his feet.
Now you are. Last time I asked, your foot was out in 2 seconds, and you're waving your foot around.
I can have
That's why
that foot
it's-
out.
Get it out.
That's why it smells like
You
feet.
trying to make some more sales? Yeah.
I can't leave my feet behind. They go everywhere I do.
Wrap them up. You got to cover them things up, man.
They're wrapped. I've just been in this room too much.
Lindsay, clarify. He's talking about feet, and you mentioned sales. How does
As
that
much
correlate?
as I want to talk about feet, I was going to say it's interesting because, like Jeremy said, we're kind of used to this setup for our recordings anyway. So the transition from working at work to home hasn't been crazy as far as tech goes, but trying new stuff is a little weird. So Ryan's show, Technical Difficulties, is where he's torn apart his house to invent new inventions. We have a couple of deals where, like, Michael and I have had to build an entire studio in our loft where our kids are like running around equipment. So that's kind of crazy. But I guess that's part of the fun, is figuring out what works and doesn't work and what we can take home with us when this kind of goes back to normal. Maybe
It definitely will someday.
one day.
Yeah,
right.
eventually.
Yeah.
Like a dream.
Mike and Lindsay's kids will be able to go back. Our parents used to work here.
Yeah, they
No.
can go back and listen to themselves screaming nonstop in the background on a daily basis. Like, that was me. That was me yelling for 5 minutes straight.
I'm in content.
Yeah.
Better Iris is going to be the Charlize Theron of Mad Max of the future. We're like, you got to shave your head and lose an arm, kid, because it's bad out there. It's bad out there.
Oh my! What have y'all been missing the most about the old way of content creation and production?
Not being in this house all the time.
Yeah. That's
Look,
rough.
Yeah.
I love my family. I have 2 kids, a lovely wife. They're all in this house too.
Stop talking right now.
All
right, you nailed it.
here.
I think they'd love me more if they saw me less, though.
Loves his family.
There we go. Yeah.
The way we in Achievement Hunter talk to each other during content, it's a real dance of trying not to talk over each other, letting someone finish their statement before you get a chance to jump in. So like when we have guests over, they're always they don't know when to jump in because we just have the cadence down. Being online and not in person, it messes with that just enough where there's a little delay where it just throws it off sometimes. There's a lot of like people starting to talk and then they stop and pull it back so someone else can get their words in.
Yeah, you go. No, you go.
Yeah.
No, you go. No, you go.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Okay, what are we talking about?
There's a lot of looks we can get away with in the office that don't require speech. A lot of times I'll just give Jeremy a look. Yeah.
Yep.
And people are arguing on the other side of the room. We just start shaking our heads or what have you, or someone does something stupid. You know, you can look to your left or right and someone is already waiting to agree with you about something that's just taken place. I think that at least the benefit we have in what Jeremy was talking about is at least we did it for years and years and years before we got sent home. Cause I can't imagine what a mess it would be if we at least didn't have that baseline, you know, cause like we can tell when it's off. And we'd even talked in the past, you know, cause we've always worked together out of an office. We've talked about what it would be like working from home. And, you know, it's worked out surprisingly well, but I think that's just because we were fortunate to have so much experience together and doing something like this for so long that now we can do it remotely.
That works. So yeah, that rapport and having to switch over, and for whatever it's worth, you are not the only cast members we've had on here that are so this again part of the new normal. I'm not quite sure if we're ready to call it that just yet, but is there anything out of this during this time that you would like to integrate into the new normal when it finally levels out?
I keep joking that I'm not going back. I'm like, no. I just want to be like, I want to be like the Bosley of Achievement Hunter. Like I just call in every now and then. I'm like, all right, scouts, this is your mission today. Okay, bye.
What is the takeaway from being here?
I'm hoping it gives us the opportunity to possibly have days, and we experimented with this right before we all went in the lockdown, because Jeremy had a situation where basically he had to quarantine himself before everyone in the office did. Yeah. He quarantined himself for almost 2 weeks, came back to work for 3 days, and then we all had to leave office again.
Correct.
I was like, hey, welcome back. All right, back to your house.
All right, see ya.
But we did something that we don't ever usually do, where if you're out of the office for whatever reason, you're just not in the content. But with Jeremy being out for an extended period of time, but just for quarantine, we did a video where we all recorded at work, and he actually recorded from his house, and it actually works surprisingly well. And I think I would like the option to do that in the future. Not that it would happen very often, but occasionally for some reason, someone couldn't be in the office, because so many things in our schedule revolve around who's here and who's available and what video has to be recorded. It would be nice to have at least the, you know, backup option of so-and-so can't come in, but they can record from their house at 2 p.m. because we've never done that before.
It's fair. It's absolutely fair.
And now we've all been forced to do it. So now we all have the technology.
You must learn.
Yeah. And I do know for the other Rooster Teeth projects, like Ruby and stuff, those who do voices have been recording from home as well. How's that challenge been?
Yes and no. I've done a few small things from home because we have like a little recording setup that we can just like put in our closet and get okay sound. But I've actually gone in to record for volume 8, but they have it super locked off. Like it feels like I'm a science experiment. Like I'm walking in, they're like, "You're gonna be okay, kid," but they're behind all the like glass, like in safety. And I'm like, "Are you sure I'm gonna be okay as I go in here to record?" But it's all good. Everything is totally locked down. But actually, it's kind of nice that I like that I have a lot more space to record in now. I feel like I have much more like physical area to work with because of that. So again, maybe like something that we'll take away later is like more space for the actor to perform in, I guess. So that's kind of cool.
I haven't seen you in the booth. Are you a physical voice actor?
Yes, Ruby is all this. Like it's nonstop. Like, oh my god, I'm talking about this and it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah.
She does also usually take her shoes off.
I do.
See, that's
If
not
it gets
bad.
Because I'm pretending
Well-
to be a child, Ryan.
See? See?
That's our job description.
It's true. You're not.
For the benefit of our audience, we had a discussion earlier about feet and shoes. Whatever. So
Yes.
it's fine.
The chat is blowing up about your feet. So you know.
I can get them out again.
Oh no,
No, stop. Leave your feet away.
Patty, I'm
Leave
sorry.
your feet away.
Yeah,
This is your show.
Get here.
Patty's like, is your content? I just
This is your show.
I'm
You
here
guys
for the ride.
You're the like I tell my guests, you're the chefs, and I'm just the waiter. So
Oh god, we're serving up feet.
Look,
Here we
why
go.
are people so discriminatory about feet? Come on, they're just
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
You got feet? I know. I've seen
We-
you. All of
I
you have
hate
feet.
them.
We
I
have the
hate
free the
them.
nipple movement. Ryan's like, free the feet. Let them go.
Yeah, keep the nips away. Those aren't allowed.
But feet,
Feet.
fine.
Everyone should have feet.
My-
I want a foot on every child. That's gonna be Ryan's campaign.
No foot left behind.
you guys.
What's happening?
What's going on?
Okay, so there's still some stuff that made it past the cutoff, and you still are on your reserves. Have you guys either through Achievement Hunter or in Rooster Teeth in general been looking at if we hit the wall? Have you devised developing some ideas and plans to possibly fill in that gap if it comes to that?
Well, that's funny. We've been having meetings about what the future looks like in the quarantine if we need to shoot in a together sort of thing. I'm gonna be honest. I zoned out during most of the meeting. I think it had a lot to do with like spraying you down with Lysol and putting you in a trash bag at the end of the shoot.
There's a lot of
Pretty much.
conversation about zones.
Yeah.
AutoZone,
This is my zone. That's your
Comfort
zone.
zone.
Don't cross into this
Yeah.
zone. It's
Discovery Zone.
The Phantom Zone.
Um,
That's my
Zone.
favorite one.
we've been basically trying to develop as much as we normally make in new content from home under the scenario. There are occasional like bigger productions, or it might be like some sort of deal we have with another company, whether it's like a sponsored thing or something. And the thing with like which is usually generally live action, like something like Hardcore Mini Golf, which is live action, but that's in-house. We produced it and shot it and everything, like it's just our show. But we do partnerships with other companies and stuff, and there are like a couple I think that would have been shot already, but got delayed obviously because of COVID, and now it's coming up on the horizon of when things maybe settle down. What are the scenarios in order to shoot this, and what is this going to look like when shooting in an office space? So those conversations are happening now with the express, like no one's going back if you don't want to. There's no rush. Everything's on board as can be, but just basically looking at the future and what it will look like when eventually we do go back.
We've been super lucky that we could get away with as much as we have up to this point. So
Oh yeah. And it's opened up a lot of collabs that we never could have done previously. So
Or
if
could have,
anything,
but just didn't.
yeah, yeah.
we've also been sort of strange as a company in that a lot of what we do is stuff that, I mean, obviously a lot of people do what we do in this industry, and they do it the way that we're doing it now forever. So us all gathering together in one room and recording together is sort of an oddity compared to a lot of the other groups out there that do this sort of thing.
Yes.
Instead of like one room, I kind of want to gather in like in Pacific Rim when they drift Like, can we
Yeah,
all get
okay.
our brainwaves into one area? Like,
No, I don't want to be.
Do you want to mix
No.
brainwaves with
No.
us?
I just
Stay
want
out
to
of my-
happen.
stay
I
out
don't
of
want
my
to mix
head.
brainwaves with
Get out of
her.
my
I
head.
live with her. Jeremy's would just be going, get out, get out, get out.
Get out of my head.
I think we already have way too many moments where we're like, all right, someone said the thing. We all know the joke that follows. Who will be the one to say it?
Yeah,
One of
every
us.
video, I just go, and I hold it in because I don't want to say it anymore.
I love that over the course of Achievement Hunter history, it's turned from who can be the first to say the joke into who's going to be the first to break and say the joke. Like, no one, don't. Yeah.
I'll take the easy joke every time. I'm like,
Michael-
I know my role. I know what belongs here.
Michael likes that low hanging fruit
Yeah.
sometimes too.
There was a flint there. I know a coal's coming.
Absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. What? Really? What? If this hadn't happened, if all this pause hadn't happened, you don't have to say, but go to details. But was there something on the horizon that you've had to put on hold until this gets resolved?
Boy, I didn't want to say anything, but we were actually going to be on the moon.
Yeah.
Wow,
Whoa.
really?
Wow.
Yeah,
We
no,
should
it was,
still do it.
that's where
Safe
Sky
there.
Factory was going.
Safe there.
The last episode was going to be shot on the moon.
Mm.
Had to put it away. Hate to say it.
I thought you were going to mention the Avengers reboot where they were going to cast all of us as all the characters.
Mhm.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
then
was
with
a hot
Starship
Black
Trooper
Widow.
in place,
It's
like,
it's about time for a reboot. That there are 27 movies in,
There's somewhere in there.
10 years of work. Let's reboot it.
I
don't
all right,
oh,
if you're
sorry.
Avengers, who are we going to cast you as?
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
do we go by the posters we made, or like is this head?
No, whoever. You do whatever you want.
Yeah, who do you want to be?
I've never had this power. Oh no.
You've never had the power to choose a superhero.
Cast, that's
Oh
all
my
you
God.
do is cast us.
That's true. You
Yeah.
actually did a tweeted trailer where you did
did.
cast us.
I did. I was Gamora for that one and Star Lord, which was funny. So
I think
Okay.
I was Vision, wasn't I?
yes, and you were
Yeah, because
floating,
you
which
had
was
something
amazing.
taped to your
shuffle.
head.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was Thanos.
Michael Spider-Man, which is very appropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I see that.
I'm getting a little too old to be Spider-Man now. I'm just fat and old. But
But
I'm the
bars.
I'm the perfect age to be cast as Spider-Man, like before Tom Holland. Because they're
Oh.
like Toby Maguire, like you're like 30, boom, Spider-Man.
40, perfect.
Well, hey, Enter the Spider-Verse, they brought like older,
That'd be
out of
me.
shape Peter
That'd
That'd be
Parker.
me. Yeah, I could do that one.
Well,
I
no,
could
go
do-
even further. Let's get Spider-Man Beyond. I want like decrepit Peter Parker training
Okay,
the
hang
new
on.
Spider-Man,
Hang on.
and
on.
Michael's gonna play him.
Michael didn't throw the word decrepit out.
I
Now you're
Wait a minute.
things have
said.
escalated.
overstepping your boundaries here.
Decrepit. That means you have bad feet.
Yeah. What if we had an
Whip.
old, gross Spider-Man?
And then I break my finger,
You can barely look at him.
just falls off.
I put my webbing on bread and eat it as a sandwich.
He's webbing around, pulling himself in a
He's
wheelchair.
webbing his dentures into his mouth. That's the uses.
Oh yeah, very true.
Something
Very-
practical.
Too much. All right, our producers say we've got a pool of questions, so let's go ahead and roll our first one.
Thank God.
The Geek Court. Question for the crew: if you could be in any video game, which game would you like to be in, and why?
Oh man.
Ooh.
Man, be
Still
in a video game.
riding that.
Oh,
Yeah.
what universe would you want to be a part of?
I would
Like,
say
really,
I
what
wanted-
this larger question is.
Does he mean like living in a game or appearing in a game?
It
I
could
assume-
be in any
assume
game.
living.
Oh,
Sounds like-
yeah.
Oh,
Now
like,
I don't know.
yeah.
I thought it's like if you could live the life of any video
Right,
game character,
like-
but it could just
Oh,
be
that
if you could
drastically changes
appear
it.
in any video game series.
I'm gonna take that as live-in, and I'm
Okay.
gonna throw out a controversial answer, which
Ooh.
is Witcher, which is cool, but I will probably die very quickly because everyone just gets slaughtered in that game.
Yeah, there's
series.
if you're just inserted at random, your percentage chance of being a Witcher or someone that matters
Yeah,
is very low.
I'm some guy at a bar that gets killed in a fight that Geralt caused, and I go, great. I was just here eating my meat pie, and now I'm dead. But the world's cool. It's a cool
For the time
world.
you got to exist in it, it was great. You lived in
Yeah.
poverty, then another nation took over
Right.
your city. They killed half the population and strung them up around the town. And then one day, some white-haired guy showed up, started asking some questions,
Yeah,
and
there
then a
he
ghost
is.
killed you.
Yeah, there he is.
'Cause my immediate thought was Fallout, and I'm like, but Fallout sucks. That's the
Right.
whole
Yeah,
point
no,
of
oh my
Fallout.
God.
So
Most
if,
really cool games suck.
if it's living in a world, I would probably go with Pokemon.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a good one.
Right? Come
fair.
on.
Dude, but in Pokemon context, because in real world Pokemon, also you'd get torn to shreds by those monsters. You get a bunch of monsters running
In
around.
real
they'd
world
be,
context,
they'd be ripping people to bits.
they're constantly talking about that. When you read the Pokedex, it's like, oh,
true.
Drowsy's cute. He like eats your soul through your nose or some shit. Like they're all awful, but
Doesn't Drowsy kidnap children?
the
Or
Hypno
the
does,
Hypno?
not fully
Hypno,
evolved.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sorry.
It's learned, not.
yeah, it's taught.
you know,
It's taught.
yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
He learned to kidnap. He
Oh.
forgot. Confusion.
I think I'd have to go with something space-based, like maybe Star Citizen, though I haven't played it yet. But I would have said Wing Commander before that, except that that's also a war-torn society where space cats are trying. Oh, you'd like it. They're space cats, Lindsay.
Okay.
They're the bad guys, though.
Oh,
And
She'd
until
be the
later.
bad
I'll join them. Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm bad now.
Well, but there was like Freelancer was a game in that universe where things were just okay, and you just kind of traveled around in your spaceship as a space merchant. That would be fun.
Nice. Yeah, I'm thinking like I need chill, relaxing game, and right now my coping mechanism is Animal Crossing. It's literally on the TV behind my computer. I'm waiting to play it after this. But yeah, I'd like to live there, my little island with my millions of dollars I can spend on whatever.
It's a lot of manual labor, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
It's therapeutic, Jeremy. It's my Zen garden. I'll rake.
Oh.
Geek Court, thank you for that one. That was a good one. Starts off from MJ. Are y'all finding that you talk to each other more outside of work hours as opposed to before?
Not in
No.
any way.
Mm-mm.
Not
No.
really, no.
No.
We all meet up in the morning, and usually there's 8 or 9 of us in dead silence until someone enters and says good morning, and then
Usually
half of
Sarah.
us kind of grumble.
Yeah.
Fredo's always like, it's only 10 o'clock.
Not even. Sarah will go, good morning, and then someone goes,
Wake up.
is it? And then that's how
There's a lot of that.
And then we record all day, and then we finish and go bye, and then we separate until the next day.
The thing is, during a normal work day where we went into work, even when a video ends, then there's time to, talk about whatever's going on, talk about what videos we want to do and stuff like that. Now it's like the video is over. We know the next video we're scheduled for.
Mhm.
Mute. AFK.
It's like if we were sitting at our desks, and then in between recordings, we put up blinders next to like, bye.
It is that exactly.
Cool. MJ, thank you. What do we have next? From John. What was your favorite nostalgic video game growing up?
Oh God. My favorite nostalgic video game growing up was that video games just began to exist as I was
right.
growing up. So
What was the video game that was released like what on Atari for you, Ryan? Yeah, nice. Fire,
That's-
of course.
there was a great Atari game, Solaris, but I barely ever got to play it. So, I think maybe the King's Quest games were really good.
I don't know if
The
you
old
can
Sierra
I think
games.
it's right outside of our window, and they have like a megaphone, and they're yelling at the kids in our neighborhood to come outside and have ice cream. Excuse me.
What the hell?
Yeah, I can hear him. I can hear it.
That's definitely a trap.
Come get your ice cream.
Warn them.
Yeah, and also it's not even a real ice cream truck. It's like some old truck that they bought and painted.
I've seen this truck or a similar truck. Yeah.
That's a nightmare. There's a
No,
murderer in that
No,
truck.
I mean there might be, but it's real. I've bought ice cream from them, but
That's the Pied Piper.
for me it'd probably be Banjo-Kazooie. It's weird. I've played like a million games, and there's so many I can associate with, even Legend of Zelda, but that's just like I think of being a little kid when I'm playing that game. If I had to pinpoint it, I just love that game. I love everything about that game came out. I've played it so many times before, so that's my vote.
Sounds good.
Yeah. My first two console was N64, and then I had a Game Boy Color. So things like Pokemon Yellow was my first Pokemon game. Maybe first Game Boy games. That's huge nostalgia. Same with Ocarina of Time. Bill said, played that a lot. I also played a game called Mischief Makers a lot, and a lot of people don't know what that is, but it's a side scroller. Yeah, and I liked it quite a bit. So that's a big nostalgia factor game for me.
Sounds good. Sounds good. John, thank you. What do we have next? From Dylan, what game do you most enjoy playing or live streaming with the Achievement Hunter crew?
Dead by Daylight. I want to play more.
Yeah, you'll play
You're
more
a
Dead by
big fan of
Daylight.
that game.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Gmod easily.
That's good. 7
Gmod's
Days is
great.
good.
And GTA. GTA is just, it's always good to get in there. GTA to me feels the most like a life simulator because there's so much real world stuff in it. Like we all have our own characters with our own clothes, with our own cars, and we meet at in the same city. It's very I could see that game transitioning very well, even just visor wise into VR and believing I'm talking to Jeremy. Like I know exactly what Jeremy looks like in GTA. I know his outfit. I know if I see a car that's sitting there, I go, oh, that's Jeremy's car. Well, you that doesn't count because you always have some stupid color. But other people that don't have the same colored cars, that feels like Achievement Hunter's second life to me is GTA 5.
We've spent a lot of hours in that city.
So
there is a VR mod, but it doesn't work that great.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, probably Gmod I'd go with. I was going to say 7 Days as well. 7 Days is just fun.
And gosh, what else do we play a lot of that? We
haven't played Unrailed in a little bit. I would do that.
Unrailed's good. Lately, Astroneer's been a lot of fun. It's very, just chill, like rambling around in space again.
Yeah.
Rambling around.
I might actually make something. We'll find out.
The only thing that'll kill you is yourself. And it happens way more often than it should.
Mhm.
Yay. Dylan, thank you for that one. What do we have next? From Jeremy, when you first started on the internet, what did you do to get comfortable in front of the cameras and microphones?
I'm still not comfortable in front of either. Next question.
Well, what you do as a fresh young internet creator is you spend a lot of time reading comments, and then they just rip you down to your constituent atoms for being a terrible, awful person that existed in a universe that they didn't want you in. And eventually, they start to kind of grow on you like a fungus, or rather, you grow on them like a fungus. And by that time, you're somewhat dead inside and willing to just go with the flow.
Yeah. Why do we fall, Brian?
Is that too harsh?
to stay down. That's why. Don't you get up on that horse. Now eat that dirt. Dirt eater.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess at a certain point you just go, fuck it.
I just kept doing it. It just takes experience. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that do it right off the bat and they're amazing. That's not the normal. Even for people that you watch, even for people that have, maybe blown up and they're huge on YouTube or Twitch or, whatever you're talking about. Most of those people probably were not good when they first started. It just immediately. And for me, whether it was my own stuff before I started Achievement Hunter and then into early Achievement Hunter, like I remember when I got hired in Achievement Hunter, a year into Achievement Hunter, I went, oh man, I remember the crap I used to make. Now I watch that and I hate it. Anything older than like 2 years, it's hard to watch because you're just like, oh, from tech to, personality to just what, I don't know. Your standards are always changing, at least for me. You're always growing as a person. So you always kind of, you can improve your craft, but also your tastes are going to change. So you might think, oh, I'm doing everything I want to do right now and this is great. And 2 years later, you just might not like it because you don't really, have the same comedy or insight that you did 2 years ago or whatever. So for me to get comfortable is to just keep making, just keep creating stuff and keep trying to improve in the present, just like, what do you want today? Where do you want to get? And to always just kind of reflect back. It's also easy to think, you've been doing the same thing for 5 years or whatever. And it's easy to just not see the difference, but you look back and I can't believe anybody watched us in 2012. I won't watch it now. And that's the golden years to some people. Cause there's another nostalgia factor there where they go, oh, 2013 were the best videos ever. And I watched 2013 and I go, you can't even hear us. The audio is like all the mics are blown out and there's 6 people talking to each other and like 2 people are sharing the screen. This is crazy. This is terrible. If we made this now, we'd be slaughtered. Like we'd be set ablaze. But yeah, we've I think most of us have just fallen into the groove of at least we have the support of we're a group, where I feel that's a lot more difficult for a solo person because they don't really have people to bounce like ideas with, or it just helps get comfortable. When you're chatting with a bunch of people, it's a lot easier to kind of just put the audience or the viewer in the back of your mind and just focus on the people you're talking to in the moment.
Well, and just the beauty of like the big ensemble cast we have with age is like inevitably you're going to find someone that you gel with more. Like I tend to gravitate toward more people when I'm in content, depending on like one, what the content is, and two, like what the comedy is meant to be for the video. So like Michael was saying, we kind of have that crutch to lean on, which is nice.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah, Jeremy, hope we're giving you advice and good luck and break a leg on your endeavors.
Not you, Jeremy.
Yeah,
yes, I've learned a lot.
He asked the question.
Jeremy with an A.
Yeah,
You'll get there one day, Jeremy. Just keep your chin up.
Have a friend read the comments and have them give you the cliff notes. That's
right.
Don't
Summarize. Don't read them verbatim.
yeah.
Yes. From Salty Guy Gaming. If you could switch bodies with anyone at Rooster Teeth, who would it be and why?
Matt Bragg.
Oh,
God.
God.
I gotta know.
Because there's nothing you could do.
This is okay. Let me switch bodies for like a day, not permanently. This is a coworker of ours, Matt, and he's just a specimen of science. He does many things. He's got many traits and habits that are just intriguing and bizarre to the rest of us. And I would like to live just a day in his shoes, just to see how it is.
Here, let me pitch you this with the Matt Bragg idea, okay? You know that game House Flipper, where you take the house and you have to do all. Imagine that with a body. Now you're given control of Matt
You're
Bragg.
talking about Dress to Impress?
And the
Queer
House
Eye?
Flipper game that we
Or-
played. No, you from inside Matt Bragg.
Gotcha.
You now have to clean that up
I
so
see,
you can
I
flip
see.
the body to get to another one.
Gosh, you were being literal. All right.
No, very literal. Yeah, like I'm going down the rabbit hole with this question. Okay, I mean you're stuck in that body.
Well, apparently, we're going down the Matt hole.
I like the idea of even a scenario where you don't flip it. You got to give it back to Matt. So it's like a service that he pays for. He goes, clean this up. And he gives you for a week.
And he takes
and
control back of his body.
Yeah, and he likes the improvements.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing.
Total opposite. When I heard this question, I thought, oh, is this temporary? Like, we'll flip back eventually. Then my immediate thought was Blaine, because I want to jump into Blaine's body and just ruin it.
And then
very
flip it back.
evil.
Shape, very muscular.
I like
man.
your thinking, but that is
Yep.
evil.
Blaine is like super cut, super ripped, and I just want to jump in that body and
Just start chowing down.
it's over.
Yeah, I don't think I would know how to operate that body. It's operating on very low body fat, which
You could
is something
destroy
I
it so
need
quickly.
all the time.
Yep.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's like one burger. It's all you need, Jeremy.
I know. Oh,
God.
I know. All the carbs in the world. are going into that thing.
Dude, put Matt in Blaine's body.
If Matt and Blaine traded bodies,
There it is.
Freaky
This-
Friday.
this is the new wife swap, but it's consciousness.
It's called life swap.
life swap.
But
Whoa.
Blaine would have such a good time.
I don't know that he
Matt's
would.
body.
I
He
think
would.
Blaine,
He'd hate it.
Blaine would wake up and he'd vomit and go, "Oh my god!" And he'd call Matt in his body now, and he'd say, "I just threw up." And Matt goes, "Yeah, that happens every morning."
Yeah.
9 a.m. already? Wow.
Too much.
Oh, that's an idea for a show. Right.
See, there you go. It's all good. Salty Guy, thank you. That was a fun one. What's it? From Micah. Have y'all picked up any new hobbies in quarantine?
I have been spending a lot of time cleaning up my back patio and making like a outdoor gathering for when humans can come over. Like too much time. It's real homeowner dad stuff.
Yeah.
Where I we've had a fire pit for years that we got as a gift and it never worked. And I got tinkering around in it one day. I fixed it. And then that set things in motion. I'm like, oh, I fixed the fire pit. Then I started fixing up the furniture. Then I bought new cushions. Then I put all the oil. I bought a bunch of oil to put in our little tiki torches that we bought for decorations and never used in 3 years. Then I opened Amazon and saw a pressure washer and thought, gotta buy that. So I bought that. And then I've been pressure washing my deck. I thought I was done. I'm not done. It keeps going. I bought party lights for the backyard. We just bought an outdoor rug. I'm sinking all this time and money into it just to look at it. And that's how I know I'm old, but it's certainly a new hobby. And it's awful outside. It's so hot. I go outside, I'm sweating to death in 30 seconds. And there's a bunch of buggies biting me. There's mosquitoes out there. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's
I
not
don't know what
bad.
I'm doing.
Like 8 o'clock.
I know it's not accurate, but I looked at my thermostat before I came up here, and it claimed that wherever it is on my house, it was 112 degrees.
Oof.
I don't buy that because it's still like 99 here.
Where is it? In the oven?
God. Brutal.
Yeah, a lot of cooking and a lot of baking I've been doing.
We bacon.
Not as much. Well, I haven't been baking a lot because I've been on a diet again.
Huh.
But pretty much anything I want. Like Kat constantly challenges me in a way that she loves. If she's like, try making this, and then when I make it, she's like, this is great, and then leaves. Yeah, so I made like creme brulees like from scratch and stuff, and all stuff. And it's new techniques I've never tried before. It's great.
Badass. Have you watched Crazy Delicious, by the way? You should.
I have not.
It's a new baking show where people make weird things out of food, like chairs.
Writing it down.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Right below Blaine versus Matt.
Yeah. Before we start here, I closed a browser window that was titled, it was a YouTube video titled How to Make Shoes. So that's where I am with my hobbies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been fixing all my pants and
So
stuff.
you're going to become a cobbler?
I can't. I mean, it's like sewing. So yeah, it's not like crazy once you break it down.
Is it like sewing? I assume
I
that
mean-
with shoes, if you want some kind of sole in it, it needs like.
You
Probably
cut out
some
the
glue
little
involved.
base. Yeah.
Mm.
You can glue it together.
Your old school shoes were sewn with crazy hide and a needle like that. So
Gonna make
Yeah.
them like Tom's shoes, I guess. Maybe. Probably not. I'll
Can
get
you
late.
make me some Witcher boots for when I go die in that world? I want good boots.
Micah, thank you. That was a good one. And from Taylor, what is the hardest game you've ever played?
Oh man.
The
Oh,
hardest.
The game.
I mean,
of life.
there's always Dark Souls out there, which is just you play it because it is hard. But
Yeah.
there's
There's hardest, like Dark Souls, where I'm just like, this isn't for me, and I stop playing it. And then there's like, what's the hardest game you will actually play? You know, or a lot of things, because we, as the namesake, we like getting achievements. We like doing a lot of stuff like that. So sometimes there'll be a game that's not necessarily hard, but there's something really hard in it. In recent memory, just off the top of my head, because they literally did it today, getting like all the time trial stuff in the Crash Bandicoot series was just, oh man, I was just hitting my head against the wall. It's just like a really fun game. And then there's a couple of trophies they throw in that are just mind-numbingly difficult. And I finished Last of Us 2, and I just went and got the last Crash DLC. They added that level like a year or two ago, and I just did it today.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is so easy. It was such a relief. It took me like 45 minutes to get. But I usually gauge it by like a thing in a game. And that's something that comes into recent memory. It's like Crash Bandicoot.
yeah. Because when I play hard games, very often I'll play hard games and I'll just go, forget it.
Yeah,
Like,
never
I'm
mind.
totally fine doing that. The one I didn't do it with, it was Cuphead.
I was gonna say
Oh,
that.
boy.
Again.
That was the one that I like played all the way through, got all the achievements and everything in it. Michael
I,
watched me
I
suffer.
did not. Surprise.
Every day I walked in and Jeremy just like, I hate it. I hate
Because I
it.
hate
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I would just go, stop playing it. No.
His
No, I'm
rage
not gonna
boner would
stop.
not be
And he kept playing
satisfied.
it. And then what was crazy to me is you beat it. You got all the achievements. Then you moved on to Shovelhead, which is so much easier. Shovel Knight.
Shovelhead.
That's the sequel to Cuphead.
Yeah.
You moved on to Shovel Knight, got like to the end of the game, and you went, that's pissed me off. I'm done. I'm not playing this.
Yeah, I did.
And I was going, just finish it. It's so much easier than Cuphead. You're like, nah, I don't want to. I'm done.
Yeah, because I felt I had no stakes in it. Like Cuphead, I felt like I'd gotten all the achievements and everything. I was like right there. Shovel Knight, I was like, I'll throw this one on there. And I kind of had that moment of, why am I doing this? I'm like doing this
Right at the end of the
I
game.
was, and I tried it like twice or something. I just went, nah.
You
fuck it.
quit so easy, and you're like, no, I'm done. Anyway, and then you just like went back to something else on your computer. I was blown away.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that jumps to mind recently is our lasso / criminal mastermind stuff, which
That's
sometimes is only awfully hard in the sense that it's us playing it.
Yeah, we definitely make Halo harder than it has to be, but that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a great,
That's fun
it's
hard.
difficult, but
Mhm.
it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do, and it's fun to do with friends.
It's not fun to do without friends. Lasso without co-op is like,
10 times
Just-
harder.
don't bother. It's why
Yeah.
would you do that to yourself? You get another controller, log it in, and have no one there, and you will have a better experience than playing it totally alone.
Which is still alone.
It's still alone, but you can
Just-
pretend.
yeah.
It feels like I have friends.
Good to see you again, there, old checkpoint buddy.
Lindsay, do you get one from you?
Oh yeah, I was saying Cuphead
Good,
for
good,
sure.
that's Cuphead. Oh, yeah, I
I'm
agree.
horrible with side scrollers, and my attention span is terrible. And that's all it is pay attention to all the moving objects and move right. And I'm
Fair, absolutely fair. Taylor, thank you. For me, it was Gauntlet. Nobody ever told me that the game didn't end.
Man.
I do like Gauntlet.
Yeah,
I love Gauntlet, but I was like, is this ever gonna stop? End?
Yeah.
It was like, I was like, oh, this is a bit fruitless.
Another really fun game to play with friends, though. Like
Ye-
especially when the arcade ones, like
Mhm.
Gauntlet Dark Legends. That's
And
just
you're
a
waiting to
good,
play laser
like,
tag? Yep.
Just
Yeah, your friend shots the food that you needed.
yeah, that's playing with my brother.
Yeah.
When someone that runs their face into the edge of the screen, so the second something loads, they just pick it all up. It's like you stop picking up every item. Come back, move back away from the edge of the screen. You don't need every single item and every single food.
But they
Yeah.
might.
They might.
Indeed. Warrior shot the food. Taylor, thank you for that one. What do we have next? From Sherstein. What is your favorite inside running joke that has come out of Achievement Hunter?
Ooh, that's a lot.
There's so many.
Yeah.
And they all come so
for sure
naturally
thing.
in the moment. And then when it's like, which one do you like the best? It's blank.
We also we have a pattern of making a joke, beating it to death, and then leaving its corpse behind to be forgotten forever until
the thing
someone else
is-
mentions it.
But the thing is, usually the beating happens before the audience even gets the joke because we
true.
film so much. So we have a joke and we beat it and we beat it and we beat it and then we're done with it. And then the video comes out and then everybody starts saying the joke. And I go, wow, you're still saying that?
Or we're
But they
like, we
just
said
got
that? What did we say?
Probably one of my favorite things is Jeremy and I our shtick that we are in shape and know how to work out, which is clearly a joke. And a lot of people, I mean, like, whatever. You got people like Blaine, like ask him. People will tag me, you, and Blaine and be like, yeah, I'm trying to work out. Da, da, da. And I'm like, look at us.
Yeah. What are you comparing us to?
Why you
Come on.
asking us
No,
for?
come on. You're the inventor of the necky.
I mean, yeah,
Neckies.
you've proven my point here, Ryan.
That whole video was the joke. Like,
It's a running joke that, like, yes, Jeremy and I exercise. That's about it. There's nothing much on top of there, and people are like, dude, if I'm getting workout advice, I'm going right to the guys at the top, Michael and Jeremy. They know what they're talking about.
not a clue. Like we throw our arms around and sometimes eat healthy. It's really it.
If I had to think of a running joke that sort of defined my career, it would probably have to be Edgar the Cow, just because that was one of the things that crossed a border of acceptance with the audience for me. Like, you put one cow in a fake hole and all of a sudden people are like, I'm okay with this guy.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Well,
Kinda
stop yelling at Gavin.
Yeah, there you go. Enough.
He's
Cut
a
it out.
precious angel that
He is.
should never be questioned.
Perfection. Infallible
Angel.
through and through.
Uh,
Similar mindset, I guess, but like the first time I felt accepted by the H audience was when I did the Things to Do Frienderman Don't Dance. And I remember someone made a custom shirt of my character, which was just like basic. What's the name? It was Minecraft Steve. It was just Steve. Yeah. In the middle of the rave with all the Friendermen dancing around him. And the shirt said in giant letters, "Bitches ain't shit." And I was like, I love this. I can't wear it in public, but thank you.
Thank you. It's great.
Too much. Shurston, thank you for that. And a reminder to our audience, if you would like to chat with our panelists like I am now, or purchase an autograph or get a personalized recorded message, please sign up now at GalaxyCon.com. And Jude, let's roll another one from Nicole. If you could merge 2 to 3 video games into one, what would they be and what aspects would work together? Oh my.
Oh, that's a big brain question.
That's
Yeah.
a doozy right there.
You gotta
That's a whole series.
yeah, you gotta read the room. You know who you're talking to.
Well, I don't know. Like that was actually when, way back when, in the original Kickstarter when it came out, 7 Days to Die was that game because it was like, I'm going to take a zombie survival, post-apocalyptic, crafting. I mean, it was just such a mismatch of all the various game types that hadn't really gotten lumped into one thing at that point. So that game is a great example of what you're saying right there and would be my favorite mix genre game.
Fair.
I don't know if there's a lot of games. Maybe there's games like this. I'm just not thinking off the top of my head. But some games do some things really well. Like GTA does driving really well. That's mostly what that is. And like the gameplay and the shooting mechanics are good too. But it's very, I don't know, maybe not secondary, but so much of it is the driving mechanics. And then you're just kind of doing lock on third person. I can't think of a game right off the top of my head with driving as smooth as GTA, but then like a first person shooter where it kind of transitions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of tried it with, I guess, Watch Dogs and
is Watch Dogs first person though? Isn't Watch Dogs?
No, Watch Dogs is third.
Third. Well,
I mean,
yeah.
GTA's third.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
like
saying,
two-way
I mean,
per
like,
person.
I mean, like a
Gotcha.
first-person shooter and like a GTA type third-person driving game, because I
Hmm.
feel like those are two like big strengths. You know, anytime you're playing a first-person game, it's usually a shooter. And they'll introduce a driving segment. It's very hokey, or it's very
Mhm.
like you don't really drive. You're just kind of pushing buttons, or like anytime you're driving in Call of Duty, you know, it's not. Or usually you're just hanging out the door. That'd be interesting.
I would merge together, going back to Pokemon. I would say like the world of Pokemon, but like merge that with the RPG elements of like Skyrim and stuff like that, where there's so much to really explore and find out. Like a truly open world like Pokemon's still very
That'd be
linear.
cool.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like even the
Yeah.
newer one, they kind of did a little bit of that, where you're going around and you see all the Pokemon and
Yeah, they added
You
like
know,
cooking.
yeah, and they added cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, like a full on like Discovery style.
It's basically
Pokemon game.
what they did with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Breath of the Wild, but with Pokemon. That'd be all
That'd
about.
be cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool. How about that too? But make it VR.
sure.
You
yeah,
want
I mean,
VR
why not?
too?
Why the hell not?
Yeah, why
Oh
not?
man,
Sure. Yeah, I can dream. I want Mary-Kate and Ashley's Sweet 16 mixed with Doom, mixed with Heavy Rain.
No,
All right.
no. Heavy Rain.
I think you all know what we're
Happy
going
birthday.
for.
There's
I
a
mean,
mo-
I
there's a-
feel like that's what we're living in right now. That's you just
Heavy
described
Rain.
2020.
Listen, if you don't want to play anything that's dark or depressing, don't play Heavy Rain. Don't play Last of Us 2.
No.
Or one, really.
There's some
Yeah.
dude compared to 2 though.
Two is
One-
much sadder.
One's the,
Yeah, one
like-
has hope.
one is
No.
like there
No.
it's rain on like a nice spring day though. You know, you can
Mhm.
still see the sun through the drizzle. And then the storms come and
That was beautiful.
they just drown you.
in your own tears.
I'm sitting at home locked in quarantine for almost 4 months playing this game going, it's such a good game though. It's so good. Like it was really good, but please stop. Just
And
I wish the story would stop.
Every time I run into an enemy and have to kill them, and then someone else in the room yells out that person's name, it's just like, why?
That's funny.
Why do they all have unique names? I haven't
I
heard
love
the same
that.
one twice.
Even worse was today. I don't know if you saw on Twitter. I retweeted it. The development team posted pictures of the dogs in the mocap suits, and they're like, "Look at all these
No.
great puppers from Last of Us 2." I was like,
Ah!
I
Oh,
didn't make it.
I'm sorry.
Nicole, thank you. We've got time for one more question, so I'll ask our producer to pull out a really good one for us. This comes from Hank. Where do you see
Oh,
Rooster Teeth
God.
going in 10 to 15 years?
Fortunately, I don't think any of us here will have anything to do with it. We don't have that
Nope.
responsibility.
mm-mm.
there's smarter people than us. Hopefully, still employing me. That's where I hope to see it. You know, I figure I'm gonna retire around 43, 44.
That's a good one. That's a
Put
good
it-
one.
No, we don't need to put it that close. We don't need to put it that close.
Brian, we all have plenty of time. Okay, every one of us here
Sure,
has plenty of time.
love to retire.
I mean,
around
man, who's to
3 years
say?
from now?
I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't have guessed where we'd be now 10 years ago, being here almost 10 years. It's certainly interesting. It's an interesting time we're living in. Hopefully still around, hopefully still producing content people enjoy, and hopefully there's good things on the horizon. But I'm struggling a week at a time here. I do not have a 10-year plan.
Not a clue. As media changes, we try to change with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the idea of Michael writing a list and it's like 10-year plan. Be alive? ? Like
Maybe, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
if
I
we're
mean,
feeling it.
it's as you said, media is so variable. It could be that Rooster Teeth ends up as like we have to subside on some kind of quasi TikTok platform where it's like 15 seconds of gameplay mixed with someone on top of it just dancing.
right?
Who
Good.
knows?
Why did you
Well,
give that,
Jeremy's
Why did
set.
you just give that idea away?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Why did you say that?
Well, Jeremy's gonna be like a famous musician. You're gonna go like
That won't happen. I
Yeah.
guarantee that will not happen.
Yeah, he's
Michael's
right
gonna be
about
retired at 43. I'm gonna be dead.
Here's the thing. What determines retired? I'll just be out of work, but can I say retired?
Look, unemployed versus retired is really just a
But I
matter
think-
of
Ryan, if you
perspective.
put an
I
F
think-
on the front of it, then you're fun employed. Then it's
Hey.
somehow
It is-
different.
If you're unemployed, that means you're looking. I just go,
That's
"Well,
true.
I'm out.
I'm out, and
Well, how are you going to get by? I don't know. I'm retired.
I believe
Michael plan.
sometimes that's referred to. I'm between projects right now.
There you go.
Right.
There you
Making
go.
projects.
Permanently.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm on an indefinite hiatus.
I'm spending more time with my family.
Yeah.
I got this patio I've been working on, and I really need to
Exactly.
use it. So I owe it to it.
Hank, thank you for that. And GalaxyCon viewers, this has been my time with the cast of Achievement Hunter, but it does not have to be yours. If you'd like to chat with our guests like I have this past hour, get an autograph or get a personalized recorded message, please head over to GalaxyCon.com. And while you're there, be sure to check out our schedule of upcoming events like this one. Gentlemen and lady, but any final words before we go?
Marmoset.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Okay.
Good.
That was a good one.
Stay safe out there. Wear a mask if you're going outside. Put
Please.
a mask on, please. We want to go.
Also-
We want to go back out again. Okay.
Yeah.
I
It's just
swear,
taking longer.
if we do another one of these, I'll remember to have a last name.
Yeah, I saw it.
Every time. It's informal.
It was already
Ryan.
filled in when I hit join this time.
You
so I was
could have
just like,
added.
Yeah, it's probably just Ryan.
You're like Beyonce. You don't need it.
It's
Ryan.
short. It's sweet. It's to the point.
Jesus.
Do you think anyone that's been watching this has been like, I wonder what that guy's last name is?
Yeah, what's his story?
We don't know. We don't know.
Guys, this is always a pleasure. It is always a privilege to serve you. And thank you for joining us. Thank you to our audience. Thank you to those great questions. We hope to see you tomorrow. We'll be joined by guests from Star Wars, The Orville, My Hero Academia, and the captain himself, William Shatner. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care. And please keep washing those hands.